Penny weighed 12 pounds on a good day. She was a Terrier mix, the kind of dog where the mix outweighed the Terrier, where the exact composition was a matter of playful speculation every time someone new met her. Possibly some Chihuahua, possibly some Dachshund, definitely a set of ears that could not agree on a direction. She had been at the shelter for 4 months when Jess and her husband Mark adopted her, 2 years before their son Dylan was born. She was not an impressive animal. She was a small, crooked-eared, enthusiastic animal who could squeeze under the couch and emerge with single socks, and had strong opinions about the mail carrier. They loved her completely. When Dylan came home, Penny sniffed the car seat for approximately 45 seconds, determined something important from this interaction, and relocated herself to the foot of his bassinet. This was her position from that point forward. Not beside it, not nearby, at the foot, corner-posted, as though she had accepted a security contract. Jess found this sweet. Mark found it slightly crowded. Their families found it a variety of things, from adorable to concerning, depending on their feelings about small dogs. In Dylan's 6th week, Jess began to notice that Penny's behavior had changed at night. Penny was a sound sleeper. She had always been a sound sleeper. She could sleep through thunder, through the neighbor's renovation project, through arguments conducted at normal volume in the next room. She slept in a specific position that Jess called the pancake, because Penny would go entirely flat, limbs extended at 4 cardinal points, and achieve a density of unconsciousness that seemed to defy physics. She was no longer doing this. She was sitting upright in the corner of the bedroom near Dylan's bassinet at various hours of the night, fully awake, not making a sound. Jess would check the baby. Dylan would be fine, sleeping normally, breathing normally, no sign of distress. Penny would watch Jess check him, and then when Jess returned to bed, Penny would shift her position slightly but not lie down. On the 6th night, Penny came to Jess's side of the bed. She did not bark. Penny was not a barker under normal circumstances. She pressed her small, cold nose against Jess's hand, and when Jess did not respond immediately, she pressed harder, and then she pressed with enough insistence that it woke Jess from a sleep that had, by week 6 of newborn parenthood, become extremely light anyway. Jess looked at Penny. Penny looked at the bassinet. Dylan was there. He was breathing. He was not in obvious distress, but there was something about his color that made Jess pause, a dullness to it, a grayish quality to the skin around his mouth that she registered without initially processing. She picked him up. He was limp in the specific way that newborns are sometimes limp, that is different from how they are limp when they are simply relaxed. His temperature was low. His breathing was shallow. Jess handed him to Mark and called 911. The paramedic who arrived, a woman named Carla, who had been in pediatric emergency medicine for 11 years, asked Jess in the ambulance how she had known something was wrong. Jess told her about the dog, about the 6 nights of sitting, about the cold nose against her hand at 2 in the morning. Carla said the dog was monitoring his breathing pattern. Small changes. Dogs hear frequencies we don't. She said it the way someone says a thing they have encountered before, without surprise. Dylan had a respiratory infection that, at 6 weeks in a small baby, could deteriorate quickly if untreated. He spent 2 nights in the hospital. He came home pink and loud and entirely restored. Penny was at the door when they arrived. She sniffed Dylan for a moment. Then she sat down on the floor and looked up at Jess with the direct, uncomplicated gaze of an animal that has finished its work. Jess sat on the floor with her. She was still in the clothes she had worn to the hospital. She was so tired she could feel it in her teeth. She said, "How did you know?" Outside the window, the neighborhood was starting up its morning. Cars, voices, the particular rhythm of a weekday beginning. Inside, Mark was carrying Dylan around the living room the way new parents carry their babies when they have been very frightened and are now trying to believe that everything is actually fine. 12 pounds, 1 crooked ear, missing half a tooth. She had done the most important thing in the house that night, and she had done it quietly, without drama, the way the best things are always done.